Hey guys, Crypto Dad here again. I'm Rex. I'm the Crypto Dad. We're going to be talking about Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. We're going to focus on self-custody. Thank you for joining me for the live stream from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. We'll talk about altcoins. I'm going to move some crypto around for you guys. Thanks for joining me tonight. I'm experimenting with the live stream, and I was basically petrified that something wasn't going to work. What happened last week was kind of a dumpster fire. Just as I was about to go on, I did something, and then I came back to my software, and all of a sudden my main webcam wasn't working, and I had to shut down the stream, the stream software to get the webcam to work, which is pretty standard. That always works, but in this case, it disconnects from my YouTube channel, and I don't know how to get it reconnected to an existing stream. So it was just that. And I've been messing around with the mic, trying to make it work. But here we are again with the rig and everything else. And I've got some new streaming overlays to make the stream look nice. I've got some alternate camera angles to mix things up a little bit. And I'm still playing around with the green screen. I'm sort of on the fence with the green screen. I've been using it for a long time, but I'm thinking of maybe just getting rid of it. The only thing is the NVIDIA background remover that supposedly removes the background doesn't work very well. And so it's either that, or you can see what's behind me and things can be cluttered. I'm going to just go with letting you see what's behind me tonight. We'll see how things go. I want to thank everybody again for being here. I'm going to try to get this whole thing working right. If you've never been in the live stream before, let's go over here. And we're going to do the news first, but I would like to just point out, if you look over down below, we've got some stuff we're going to talk about tonight. We've got an itinerary of things we're going to do. There's some ways to connect to me here. If you're interested, always feel free to shoot me an email if you have a clear and concise question. I don't do one-on-one tech support, so an email that says, hey, can you call me, or hey, let's get together, I need some help with something, doesn't work for me. I don't do live one-on-one tech support. It's really stressful for both parties. It's so much better if you can just write down your question in a clear and concise manner, and I'll do the same. I'll reply to you in a clear and concise manner to the best of my ability, and we'll work out the thing through the email. I've done that several times, and I'm more than happy to do that with guys or gals. So we'll do it that way. And if you scroll down a little further, there's some disclaimers. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We've got the news stories that we're going to cover tonight. I've got some affiliate links for some hardware wallets that you would buy. And if you buy them, I would appreciate you using my link. Got some links here for some free wallets that you can get gratis, right? You might still need some crypto tax services if you haven't done your taxes yet. Most people kind of try to get them done before the deadline, but not everybody does, right? So I've still got those tax links down there for you guys. And a couple of crypto exchanges that I use, and I recommend. Let's take a look at crypto.com and see what's going on over there. And let's see, we can get all this out of the way here. I'll get my little stream thing later. I'm in my account there. We might try a little bit of withdrawing from crypto.com. We'll see how things go. Bitcoin's at 29,472 on crypto.com. Ethereum is at 19,265. I don't know where exactly they get all their market data. I'm assuming it's Asia-centric because their headquarters is in Hong Kong. So it's not always in sync with the U.S. I always used to think it front ran a little bit the prices we got in the U.S., but hey, I don't know. We'll see, right? If we want to check the U.S., we can look at Cointelegraph, and it's slightly lower, right? Even if I refresh, they've got it at 29,253 and 1905 for Ethereum. So I don't know. What are you going to do? Right. I want to thank everybody for being here. Barbara Kay is here. Paul Wiener. Kenneth Wiedner is also here. Kenny was here early. Amsterdam, Holland. RC Rex. Good evening, son. I'm not sure. We both have the same first name. I don't really do price valuations on coins. I will help you if you're having trouble like accessing a coin, moving a coin, getting a wallet set up. That's kind of why I'm here. It's kind of what I do. I'll leave the price predictions to people that do that kind of stuff. Let's all guess what timestamp he'll mute his mic. Let's do that. Right. I always had trouble with this mic. It's kind of, it's supposed to be one of the best mics you can use for streaming. It's an Elgato Wave 3, and it's really cool. But if you accidentally top the tap of it, it will mute. So hopefully that won't happen tonight, but it might happen. 84 Jam ESP, Mr. David, thank you for being here, Mr. David. JDO, our moderator, JDO is here. I don't know about Dan. I haven't seen him in the stream yet. Let's see, Scott Lee, of course. Wonderful to have Scott here. The Beached Whale, yay. Pulse Chain, I double checked. When you said Pulse Chain, I was like, I seem to remember that being kind of a scam. Pulse Chain is related to Hex, and Hex is a scam, dude. Guys, please. Be careful what you ask me about in the stream. I used to think that when people were asking about coins, they were just naturally curious. But then it dawned on me that as I was, like sometimes people would say, ooh, how do I move such and such to my wallet? And I'd start looking into it, and it would dawn on me that, hey, maybe they're just shilling for that coin. So try to, please don't talk about like scam coins on the live stream. And Pulse Chain is associated with Richard Hart. It's a scam. As far as I'm concerned, if you want to throw away your hard-earned money on a scam or some coin that's promising the biggest NFT airdrop in history of mankind, then I'm not your dad, right? I'm the crypto dad, but I'm not your dad. So it's on you. Anyway. Let's see. Let's jump into the news. Chat Bennett from Mackinac Island. Chad, I would like to say that on the 17th, I'll be going up to Mackinac with my daughter, with her school. There at Rockford Christian School takes the 8th graders up to Mackinac Island every year. I'm not sure where we're staying. I don't know if I think it's that big hotel. The really cool one. I can't think of the name of it, Chad, but I've been to Mackinac Island a few times already. But it's bought and paid for, man. I gave the money to the school, and so I've got my room paid for, my daughter's room, and I'm driving, so I'm going to have some kids with me when we go up there. My daughter's the first kid we've had in 8th grade, so I went with them last year on a camp out up near Ludington. That was the 7th grade. And for 8th grade, they go to Mackinac. This is my first time going with them on that. Should be cool. Yeah. Oh, Grand Hotel. Yeah, there you go. That's it. I think we're staying at the Grand Hotel. I would be surprised if we aren't. But then again, I know there's a few bed and breakfasts up there. But looking forward to that. Let's jump into the news. Nothing good, nothing bad, right? Bitcoin price holds 29K as U.S. PC data sparks 90% Fed rate hike bets. Okay. For firm over 29,000, we just confirmed that when we checked the current price. Stayed choppy at the April 28th Wall Street Open, while United States macro data confirmed no expectations. PCE offers nothing to shock. One of the economic data releases that came about on Friday, U.S. personal consumption expenditures. Sounds interesting. Tipped as the macro event of the week, failed to deliver a performance catalyst as numbers broadly conformed to what markets had already priced in. The trend is our friend, however, core sticky for now, hovering at 4.6 since December. Financial commentator. Okay. Overall, nothing to shock the market. U.S. equities showed little movement, while Bitcoin, Binance order book showed modest volatility. Attention focused on the macro events of next week. Here we go. Let's get ready for the next slew of data. Interestingly, odds for another 25 basis point hike in June are up to 28%. However, at least 2 rate cuts are expected this year. The Fed still has not said they support any rate cuts this year. Next week will be huge. Yeah, we'll see. What was that quote I was looking at? No need to get euphoric or scared. Consolidation is a necessary part of market movement. Long-term direction remains up. We'll see. Okay. Let's go over here. Elon Musk introduces Twitter monetization avenues for content creators. I don't know how this is going to work. I do have a Twitter account. Basically, I just use it to post links to my videos. I wish that I was more proactive and, did original tweets about stuff that I, was going through my head. But it's hard enough just coming up with video content and getting the videos recorded and edited and posted and, taking care of my family and doing my other job. So I'm not a full tilt social media person. But hey, I do have Twitter, but I probably won't monetize my Twitter. But I guess he is going to allow, the people that have a lot of Twitter followers and have had them for many years can monetize their channel and their Twitter account and put it behind a paywall. Now, they didn't mention anything about, using crypto for any of this. So I don't know if I mentioned, I think last week we were talking about this will Elon interface any kind of crypto in Twitter? And this is kind of a big announcement, but, see you later, Scott. Good to see you again. Oh, Dan's here. Yay, Dan. Dan is the other moderator. Thanks for being here, Dan. Kind of missed you coming in. Sorry about that. So this was the Twitter news that we got from Elon, was that he's going to allow monetization on Twitter. No word yet on any crypto integration, right? That's kind of what I was hoping for. And now the subject of the title. Right? You notice my title that said Bitcoin to banks, who's a Ponzi now? They've been telling us that Bitcoin is a big, giant Ponzi scheme for years. And Bitcoin just keeps keeping on, right? It's off its highs, but it is well over that 20,000 mark that people said was the high water mark of Bitcoin back in 2017. Crossed that line back in 2020, has briefly went down below that within the year, but now it's back up around 30. So Bitcoin is not going anywhere. And but everybody keeps saying it's a Ponzi. Well, let's see here. First Republic Bank has finally admitted that, well, maybe they were forced to admit that they've gone under, right? Their stock has been dropping like a rock. I believe the stock was at 120 in March. $120 in March, and now it's trading at $1.20. So Republic Bank just announced at the close of the market yesterday, or somebody announced that the FDIC will be taking over or seizing it, right? And whilst JPMORGAN and PNC, I'm not sure what PNC is. I think it's Pacific National Bank, right? Set to buy First Republic, but not in private market arranged, not in a private market arranged deal, but rather in a transaction that would follow a government seizure of a troubled lender. A seizure and sale of First Republic would wipe out the equity of First Republic C. I guess that's First Republic Credit. I don't know. And potentially impose losses on creditors. And so JPM, which is already the largest U.S. bank, is about to get even bigger by scooping up all the good FRC assets while leaving U.S. taxpayers holding on to the toxic ones. Isn't that how Ponzi schemes work, right? All the people that invested in it are left high and dry. And in this case, it's the U.S. taxpayer on the hook because it had to be bailed out by the FDIC. So instead of JPMORGAN coming in and buying the bank before it went up belly up and got seized by the FDIC, they waited till after so they can scrounge the carcass while everyone else is left high and dry. Isn't that the definition of a Ponzi scheme, right? And that's a large regional U.S. bank, right? So Bitcoin says, who's a Ponzi now? Not me. Bitcoin. Another one bites the dust and Bitcoin is still standing. So we'll see, right? Interesting story, I thought. And of course, you can read stories about First Republic on the mainstream news. And, they'll talk about this, the FDIC seizure, but they won't really go into the whole behind the scenes. Well, Joseph, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Is the best and most helpful. We should see an alert here pretty soon, right? There's a little bit of a delay. And if this alert doesn't come through and give Joseph a kudos, I'm going to be pretty upset. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, it was good stuff. I put a couple of new sounds in the Super Chat rewards and the new subscriber awards. Action One TV just subscribed to the channel. I forgot to mention that. Thank you. I really appreciate new subscribers, and I'm going to try to highlight those subscribers and those donators, anyone that donates in Super Chat during my live streams. And I've got some other stuff planned for you guys. I'll do the back camera when I start playing around with wallets and stuff after we get through the news. But yeah, I mean, I have these back cameras. Let's see. We've got this. We've got this one, right? We got this like the overhead where you can see what I'm doing. I'll play around with, I've got the, what is this? The Keystone, and Ella Paul was really nice. They sent me this new thing. So I'll check this later, right? And then I've got my little Stream Deck over here. And it should successfully switch between scenes. I've got this close up here so I can talk to you guys if things, just go off the rails, right? We just want to talk. So I'm going to play around and we'll have some fun. And let's see. I think this is where I want to get back. Isn't this? Oh, no, I need to turn that off, right? That's boom. And then there's some other cool stuff that I want to add. I've been doing a lot of research on, successful live streamers, turned off monetization so you guys don't have to watch commercials, but we opened it up. When I'm sort of kidding about when we say Ponzi scheme, the original Ponzi scheme is named after a guy who was hustled a lot of Wall Street and rich people back in the 1920s, I guess it was. And he supposedly had this, it had to do with mail order or stamps, what we would call stamps. But somehow he was like, you buy a postal order and then I have this little gizmo that's going to make you money by mailing it back to I don't remember what the deal was, but a bunch of people got sucked into it and he was paying off early investors and they were spreading the news that, hey, this thing is amazing. And more people were piling in. But in reality, what he was doing was he was taking the new investors' money and using it to pay off the early investors so that it looked profitable. So I think that is the real, definition of a Ponzi scheme, where they're telling you it's some kind of great investment. They're taking in money. They're using the money from the investors to pay off early investors so that it looks profitable. But in the end, everybody gets screwed, except maybe the people that got a little payout in the beginning, right? I'm assuming that the people that get like those early tastes, go full tilt later. It's like, wow, I put in $100 and got back 50. Or I got back 150 after putting in 100. So now I'll put in, $5,000, right? That's when they come up empty-handed. Anyway, let's move over to the last story here. It's just kind of about Bitcoin adoption. We're always talking about Bitcoin adoption, Bitcoin getting popular. We've talked about, people buying Bitcoin, investing in Bitcoin, learning about wallets, anything that has to do with Bitcoin getting some kind of exposure to the general public. I always feel that's good news. And here's a little article. And like I said, all the articles are linked down below. I still haven't muted my mic. And Bitcoin use cases are seeing explosive growth, Trust Machine says. Bitcoin is fun again because there's a place to build again. Moonbeam Ali, CEO of Trust Machines and co-founder of Stacks on Stage X at Consensus 2023 in Austin. It was kind of cool. I wish I could have been there. Trust Machines said Bitcoin has seen explosive growth in Bitcoin use cases. The reported identified Bitcoin non-fungible tokens, which was the thing back in March, still around, of course, but that kind of broke in March. Bitcoin Name Services, BNS, and recent developments on the Stacks blockchain, a Bitcoin smart platform that powers much of the Trust Machines ecosystem as the key use cases driving new growth and adoption. While the Web3 development has grown exponentially based on other blockchains, such as Ethereum, development on Bitcoin has lagged. However, with the new use cases and technologies emerging, it is likely going to change, said Ali of Trust Machines. So there's been, a lot of interest in some of these. I know there was a lot about the Bitcoin NFTs, although there is, I think, a little bit of disagreement between purists who say that Bitcoin should just be, a decentralized currency and not be involved in smart contracts and NFTs and all that, because Bitcoin does what it does really well. And it is still proof of work. Whereas most of the other coins out there, especially, and Ethereum recently switched to what's called proof of stake, which is a little different way of running the blockchain, creating new tokens on the blockchain through servers where people are hosting nodes, and they put those tokens on deposit in order to, and the more tokens you have, the more powerful your node, and you process transactions and you earn rewards for doing that. Whereas Bitcoin proof of work is different. You have to churn little mathematical puzzles in order to generate new Bitcoin and process transactions. I know that's maybe a little too much so far, but whatever. We'll stick with that. And haven't seen any chat lately. I hope everyone's still there. Oh my goodness. Okay. So that's it for the news. I think we pulled it off. Let me see here. Okay, good. You're still here. Yay. Setting up 2 Elipal steel here, splitting my 24-word seed phrase between each. Interesting. So yeah, let's talk about Elipal steel right now while we're on the subject. They were nice enough to send me this Elipal steel, and basically what it is, it's a metal case, and you have these little, I don't know what you call them, little metal tabs with letters, and you can arrange them into your backup phrase words. And if I recall, I'm going to go ahead and, well, I don't know. I wasn't going to open it. I'm going to do an unboxing video later. I don't know. I can always reopen it. It doesn't, I don't have to pull the plastic off in the unboxing video, although that's always kind of fun. If I can get it open. Yeah. One thing that I did notice when I set one of these things up before, and there are various other products that do pretty much the same thing, right, is that they usually only have room for 4 letters per word. And that confuses people. I shouldn't have tried to do this live. I really shouldn't have. Yeah, I can't edit out stuff when I do that. All right. Yeah, I've set one similar to this up before. Yep, here it is. Boop-a-doo. Oh, cool. Yeah, so yeah, it's pretty much the same as the one that I did before. Notice there it has numbers for all of your mnemonic words. And each slot, like 1, 2, and 3, have a room for 4 characters. And you might wonder, well, why is that? The words are longer than 4 characters, so why would they only give you room for 4 letters? And, well, I'll tell you. If you go over to the word list, and what the heck am I talking about? If you're new to Bitcoin, you might be wondering, what in God's name is he talking about? What is this thing for? What are these words he's talking about? When you set up a cryptocurrency wallet, you are given what's called a backup phrase. Now, this backup phrase is a backup of the Bitcoin or crypto address that the wallet represents on the blockchain. So all of this is, cryptography, advanced cryptography. And a lot of times when we think about cryptography, we think in terms of, the little code that you got on the back of your honeycombs when you were a kid, the little decoder that shifted the alphabet, backwards or forwards so that, A was B and B was C and C was D, and you could write secret messages. Encryption, the science of cryptography is over and above what we think of as encryption. Encryption is where you scramble a message and then you have some sort of way to decode it on the other end. cryptography goes beyond that. Public-private key cryptography is a way to validate messages as well as encode them. And that's basically what Bitcoin does. The cryptography used in Bitcoin is used to validate wallets and identities. So the private key of the wallet is just basically a really long number, and it can generate a public key, and from there you can generate sending addresses, and then that is represented out there on the blockchain. Well, when the wallet is initialized, when the wallet is created, it spits out 12 or 24 words, and those words, you're supposed to write them down. You can use those words to restore the wallet if something happens, right? If it's a hardware wallet and you lose the wallet or you damage the wallet or something like that, and you need to restore, you have those words as a backup. Now, those words basically are the private key of the wallet, so you have to be really careful. And that's why you would want to store them in something durable like the Elipal. What's it called? I forget what they're calling it. Seed phrase steel, right? Rather than writing it down on a piece of paper, you write it down using these little metal tabs, and you put it in this thing, and it stays safe and secure. It's waterproof, fireproof, fade-proof, all kinds of good stuff. All right. But back to what I was saying about 4 letters, right? Those code words that get given to you are from a list here. It's a standard list of 2,048 words. Each of these words is unique up to 4 letters. Isn't that crazy? So we've got ANCH here for anchor, but there are no other words on the list that have those 4 letters in them. So you really don't need all 6 letters for the wallet to know which word it is. So there's got to be a term for it, right? But they're after 4 characters, it's basically superfluous, right? As far as the wallet is concerned. Now, for humans, we see the whole word because it's easy for us to like gestalt take in a word, right? If someone says, write down ANCI, you're going to be like, okay, ANCI. But if someone says, write down ancient, oh yeah, I'll write down the word ancient on a card. But the metal thing, it's just taking up unneeded space to have the words longer than 4 characters. Fun stuff, right? Okay, so let's see. Soccer World. Looks like there's a new tab in Ledger Live to put a URL. Yeah, haven't seen that. Let's see. Why don't we check into that, and then I can play around with the Elipal. I'm sorry, the Keystone a little bit. We'll play with that. I think they have new firmware, Keystone Wallet. Yeah, why don't we well, let's see. Someone was here early and they wanted to know about setting up a MetaMask wallet, so I will do that, right? We can always go back to the description and look at what I had intended to do tonight. And I did want to talk about this. Is it safe to buy a Ledger Nano X or S on Amazon, Best Buy, or eBay? Now, Ledger Nano hardware wallet is this little device, and it's got a little screen on it and buttons that you can use to navigate the menus. I'll give you let's give you this one, right? This is our Ledger Nano X. I've got it connected with a cable to my computer, and it stores that private key I was just talking about. Is stored offline on the device, right? It never leaves the device. It's cryptographically secured on the device, right? This little cable basically sends cryptographically formatted messages back and forth, right? It sends a request, and then the internal mechanisms of the wallet look at the request, and if you decide to sign the request, you do so using these buttons. So so a lot of people ask, oh, I bought one on Amazon and I don't trust it. Should I get rid of it? I'm terrified. Or they'll say, oh, I saw one in Best Buy, but I was like, no, that sounds sketchy. I don't want to buy it on Best Buy. You should only buy them from Ledger. And then you can also buy them on eBay. And I guess like maybe used or maybe new or whatever. And people are like, no way I'm going to buy one on eBay. So what's up with all this, right? How should we trust a ledger if we buy it on, should we buy a ledger on Amazon? And the answer is, why not? Sure. If it's not real, just send it back. Right? How do you know if it's real? Okay. How do you know if it's, I use the word real. How do you know if it's genuine? Well, the reason you know it's genuine is because it passes the genuine check when you connect it to Ledger Live. So if you get a device in a box, and, even if the seal is open, right? You open up the device, go through the setup, and when you open it up, it's at the setup screen. You initialize it, and there's a 24-word phrase on there, and you write it down, and then you connect it to Ledger Live, and it passes the genuine check. Then it's genuine, right? You don't need to worry about, well, was it open? Did somebody hack it? You can't hack cryptography, right? Maybe with quantum computers, maybe in the next 15 or 20 years, they might be able to hack public-private key encryption. But as for now, no one has hacked public-private key encryption, and that's how these ledgers pass the genuine check. They have a cryptographic key, and it gets sent to the Ledger servers. Ledger servers verify whether it passes its genuine check. If it's a genuine device, then it's fine. So you can buy one on, of course, you would probably want one that's sealed, right? But you can buy one on Amazon. You can buy one at Best Buy. They're official retailers. You can even buy a used one on eBay. Really? Rex, you would buy a used ledger on eBay? I'm like, well, sure, why not? Because if I get it and it's been opened, all I have to do is check it, go through, initialize it, connect it to Ledger Live. If it passes the genuine check, it's genuine. That's it, period. Now, if someone sends it to me and they already have a seed phrase written down and they already have a PIN set up, not using that. That's dumb, right? That means they've obviously still know the backup phrase. They just sent it to me like, oh, don't worry, I erased it from my memory, right? No. But if they've done that and they're trying to scam me, all I have to do is reset the device to factory and it'll generate a brand new device. It'll generate a brand new private key. I'll write that down, connect it to Ledger Live. If it passes the genuine check, it's a genuine device. No need to worry. Right? Pretty radical, right? Everybody else is out there telling you, oh my God, don't ever buy one on Amazon. Oh God, don't buy them in Best Buy. They could be hacked. No one has ever hacked a ledger, and no one has ever hacked public-private key cryptography. It's a cryptographic verification process that takes place when you connect it to Ledger Live. No need to worry, right? But Rex, no. It's fine, as long as it connects. Let's see. So I wanted to cover that. How do I know if my device is genuine? It's the next item on the agenda. Well, you know it's genuine because when you connect it to Ledger Live, it passes the genuine check. And that's a cryptographic thing. And if it passes that, it is a genuine Ledger device. Let's launch Ledger Live here real quick. Let's go back over to this and let's just launch Ledger Live because Someone mentioned there's a new tab on Ledger Live where you can enter a URL. A year and I am living in a remote and non-crypto sophisticated place. I started to search Reddit on how to transfer my crypto to a ledger. Okay. Just looking for another hot wallet to use for some coins that Ledger doesn't support on Ledger Live. Okay. So let's see. What did they say? There was a tab. Who said that? Ledger Live just came out with a recent update. Maybe something to look at on the live stream. I don't see a. It's syncing right now, but I don't see an alert that tells me I need to update my version. And who said there was a tab? I don't see a tab where you can enter a URL. Okay, so we got market, we've got accounts, we have discover, and this has been there for a while for third-party apps. We've got send for sending crypto. We've got receive, we've got buy, sell, we've got card, and we've got my ledger. And those have been there for quite a while. Maybe he's talking about in the account interface. Let's go into, I don't have a Bitcoin account here. Here's one with a, well, this is not, well, I can go into it. I don't see a tab where I can enter a URL. Oh, mobile. Okay, sorry. All right, let's see. You know what? I'm going to say this out loud. I am not a fan of their mobile app. Their mobile app is just wonky. I don't like to use it very much. It doesn't sync very well. Let's go ahead and launch it here. Not a huge fan of their mobile app. It used to be usable to a certain extent, and then they updated it. Now my iPhone is on auto update. So if there's a new version, then it just kind of happens to me in the background. It just auto updates. So I'm not sure what the latest version is. So let's see. Okay, so I'm at version 3.20.1 with a 3 in parentheses. I don't know if that's the latest version. And I'm still, I see the NFT tab here for managing your NFTs, but I don't see a tab where I can enter a URL. Someone mentioned that. Along the top, the left of notifications on mobile Ledger Live. Okay, so let's see. Notifications. Okay, here's notifications. Okay. And then there's this thing. Okay. Okay, I see it. Okay, take your crypto further. I think this has to do with the card. They have, like the Crypto.com has a metal Visa card that you can use for offloading your crypto, and you can use it like a Visa card. And Ledger has been talking about this card for, I would say, years now, and I have never seen it. They keep talking about it. Maybe it's available over in Europe. This is a URL to their card website. We can look at it on their, if we go to ledger.com. Actually, you can look at it here in Ledger Live, too. That's this thing over here. Yeah, it's basically just a link to their card. And so I signed up for this back in, I don't know, 2020, 2021. Never seen it. The card. There is another tab on mine besides that. Okay. Okay, so you have something else up here, which I don't. Okay, fair enough. If you say so. I'm not, we can go over to the App Store, and let's see here. Let's go to Ledger Live and see if there's an update for this thing. Okay. Mine just says open. If there were an update, it would generally say update. So when I open mine, this is what I get. I don't see a tab up there at the top for a URL. I apologize. I'm not sure why. Do you have, maybe you have the Android version? Okay. You have 4 tabs, I have 3. Okay. Third table in the left takes you to that card. Okay. And so your other tab does what? Takes you to a web browser? Maybe it's a Web3 web interface kind of a thing, perhaps. Okay. All right. Oh, so in Europe you can get the card. Well, that's cool. I wish I could. I wish I could. Not that I would really want the card, but I mean, at least I could, you know, do videos about it and that kind of stuff. I've kind of, I don't know. I like the crypto.com card, but I don't use it as much as I used to. And I had an Uphold card. I had a Coinbase card. I had a bunch of like these exchanges cards, and they had all these like rinky-dink little do this, do that, and you'll get a bonus, and you get, you know, I mean, I just was kind of like, I'd rather just manage my crypto in my wallet. Call me jaded, right? But I don't know why you have 3 tabs or 4 tabs and I only have 3. And if you're, okay, send me a pic. My email is in the description. TheCryptoDad@gmail.com. Yeah, it's in the description. Just all you got to do is scroll down just a tad there. Connect with CryptoDad. There's my email right there. I would love to see it. But you're saying it takes you to a web browser. So it might be kind of like, you know, Trust Wallet used to have like a web browser in it too. But there was a girl here earlier, her name was Sharon, and I would like to show how to add a new extra wallet. Let's see here. Okay, he's sending that over. Let's see what we got here. Okay, this is my CryptoDad Gmail. I don't want to reveal your Gmail. I don't want to reveal your, is this it? Oh, this is Chad. Oh, thanks, Chad. I appreciate that. All right. He gave me his phone number and everything. Cool. Let's see. I still haven't gotten that email from, oh, Sharon is here. Let's take care of Sharon. I don't see your email concerning the picture of your phone. Anyway, I'll keep an eye on the email over here. See if I can. Yeah, I'll just keep an eye on it. So if you're in Metamask and you have more than one account, which you can, Emmanuel, thank you very much for that tip. How to spend crypto without an internet connection, like if you're in a remote area and want to tip someone with crypto. That's a trick, because in order to interact with the blockchain, you have to have internet access, unfortunately. You might, if someone has a Bitcoin address that they can show it to you, then you can send them some, you can attempt to send them some Bitcoin as a tip, but it's not going to go out onto the blockchain unless you have an internet connection. I know that's how blockchain works. I don't know that there may be a way to like show that person that you've initiated a outgoing transaction, although I don't know that Ledger Live will even work without an internet connection. I've never tried to use it, you know, on my phone without being connected. I could try. Oh, so all of a sudden everyone's seeing it in Ledger Live, even Dan. Oh my God. Okay. So this new icon has suddenly appeared for everyone. Anyway, let me answer Sharon's question. She's still here. All right. Well, I talked to her earlier and I said, okay. So steps to... That's Emmanuel. Appreciate that. Awesome. I always appreciate a little monetary incentive, and you deserve to have a little music when you do it. I appreciate it. All right, so I have my device connected. Now, when you're using Ledger Live and you have your device connected and you go into a wallet, Ledger Live has the ability to like send a signal to the device and say, hey, you need to open this app, right? It recognizes a request from Ledger Live to open the app that needs to be opened. MetaMask does not have that ability. So when you're using MetaMask, you need to make sure you're in the app before you try to connect. I've had so many people that say, oh, I'm trying to connect and it's giving me error messages and blah, blah, blah. And I go, make sure you have the device connected, make sure your PIN is entered, and make sure you're in the Ethereum app. I know, I sound like your mom, but that's how it works. You have to be in there. Okay, I'm going to quit here. All right, so let's see if I can get this thing to work over here. I'm going to try and pull my camera in for the tight shot. Since we're, which is going to be a problem later. Ah. Okay, you've done this before. You can handle it. You can handle it. All right. So I need to turn this thing on. Yeah. And I need to zoom it in. And let's see if we can. Yeah. So you can, I want you to be able to see my device. Let's do this. All right. All right. It's not perfect, but it's, yeah. Let me see if I can get a little bigger there. That's better. Okay. So, so you can see my device, right? So you need to be in the Ethereum app, right? You need to not just be on top of it. You need to select it and then hit both buttons so that you're in it. Right. And then I believe if you're doing stuff in MetaMask, you need to make sure that you've got blind signing enabled. I know. So you just go into that setting and you click both buttons to toggle it on. Right. Blind signing needs to be enabled if you're going to do smart contracts or whatever. Or I think you could probably do sends and receives in MetaMask without having blind signing enabled. But if you're going to be doing trading and stuff and smart contracts, you need it on. It has to be enabled or it won't work. Anyway, so now we are ready to add a new ledger-based account. So Sharon says, okay, I already have one, right? And you can see I have mine here. MetaMask is very nice. They put a little icon next to it telling you this is a ledger-based account. This account is created by doing a hardware connect. And now MetaMask has access to the public information of the wallet, right? You'll notice I have two. And so if I were to try to send crypto, if I were to switch to this account and I were to try to send crypto, it would ask me to validate it on the device, right? Because it's protected by the private key of the device. Now, if I wanted to add a third one, how do I do that? Well, device connected, Ethereum app open, go up here and click Connect Hardware Wallet. Again, one more time. Now, you go up here, you connect, you hit Ledger, and then this comes up, and you hit Connect. I had done it earlier, so it was kind of like ready. And now we can see the list, and there's like an endless list of addresses here. You can see a new address here that has not been added to MetaMask yet. You can see that I already have two that have already been added, right? I can't even untick them. They've already been unticked. There's a way to remove them, but not here, right? So they're already ticked off. So all I need to do is hit the third one and tick it off. I could hit more than one if I wanted to. Right? And then we click unlock. And now we have a new Ethereum, well, we have a new ledger-based account, and we can access multiple chains too, right? I can switch over to Polygon and manage Polygon on this new wallet too. I could throw some Polygon on this wallet, or I could like flip it over to Binance Smart Chain and use Binance Smart Chain. But keep in mind, even though we're switching networks in MetaMask, we continue to use the Ethereum app on the device. All of these chains are what we call EVM, Ethereum Virtual Machine. They're all based on the Ethereum Virtual Machine, so they can be managed on a Ledger device from within the Ethereum app. I know that's a little weird, a little confusing, because the app, the Ledger Live has a Polygon app and a Binance Smart Chain app, and you might get confused and think you need those when you're managing them in Ledger Live, but no. When you're managing them in MetaMask, MetaMask only uses Ethereum app when you're dealing with the device, right? You get a bird's eye view of this. Is this the one? You want to get a bird's eye view of me? See, here I am. You see, I've got my little Canon Rebel over here, and I've zoomed. This is the camera that I usually use when I'm talking to you guys at the beginning of the stream, right? So I have this camera like zoomed into my device so you can see my screen, right? So you can see what I'm doing, because, I want you guys to be able to see what's going on. So Sharon, I hope that worked for you, and you were able to see step by step how I was able to add an additional Ledger-based account to your MetaMask, right? It's not that difficult, really. And you can even rename this account if you don't like Ledger 3. I'm going to put down my device for a second. My arm gets tired, right? All right, so if we go up, let's go back over here. Oops, let's go back over here. So you can see me going over to this new account. The 3 dots over here, if I go to account details, I can rename this thing. Up here in this little editor, we can click the little pencil, right? We can just call this one, we could call it Ledger, what was it? I was going to call it secondary, but I already have 2, right? And it was already called Ledger 3. So I don't know, Ledger Auxiliary. I don't know, I didn't even spell it right. I'm sure I didn't. Oh, there's a spell checker. Is there? No. Is that going to spell check for me? Not really. Oh, there it is. Okay. Auxiliary. So we can rename it, right? We can manage all of these accounts, right? And then we can just close this out, and right, it's been renamed now, and we can switch back and forth between the accounts over here. So if I want to go to my, my Ledger main account, I can switch to that. Notice these are all Binance Smart Chain based accounts because I've got the Binance Smart Chain network chosen up here. Let me turn this thing off so you don't see that. And I can switch over to, say, Avalanche, right? And management. Notice I got a little Avalanche in this wallet, right? This is my Ledger-based wallet, Ledger Main, I call it, right? And you can see the exact same wallet in Ledger Live, right? So if we go back over here to Ledger Live, let me see, someone had wanted to send, I'm going to check my email to see if that email came through. Someone had said they were sending me a picture of their phone, but I never got it. I'm going to check my spam folder. I don't think this is it. No, it's not. I don't see it. Yeah, I don't know why your email didn't come in. Let me check my promos. Maybe it came in there. Nope. I don't know. Maybe you mistyped my email when you sent me that picture of your phone. Okay. Everybody's talking about this new thing. And I don't have it on my phone. I'm jealous. Right? Why can't I see that new tab that's connected? I'm sure it's a Web3 thing, right? And I don't know why it's not showing. Oh, I know why. Because when Ledger rolls out updates, they do them in tiers. Randomly, right? It's not like, oh, you're more important than so-and-so, and so you're going to get the update first or whatever. But they do them staggered, right? Because if they tried to like push it out to everybody all at once, there'd be chaos, right? It's like if everybody went to the same restaurant on the same night and ordered blintzes, there'd be chaos, but they don't, right? So Ledger pushes out their updates in sections, right? Not everybody gets them at the same time. So I'm sure within a day or two or maybe a week or so, I'll get it. If it came to Dan, I think Dan uses an iPhone. Or maybe he doesn't. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I realize that's why, because they don't push it out to everybody at the same time. I don't know how they do that, because I would assume that if it's been uploaded to the Apple Store, that I should see it as an update that I need to download. Maybe I was just dreaming about that. I just purchased Atom via Coinbase and I cannot send them over to another wallet. Is this crazy? I don't think you're crazy. But I don't know you very well. You might be crazy, but just because you can't send your Atom doesn't mean you're crazy. Let's take a look at what was I going to do? I was going to show you. We can. If you're on Coinbase, I was going to check my bank to see if there's any money in the account for me to like make a quick purchase here. I don't know. There's a little bit. I think I don't want to come up short on Monday morning. That would suck. But I think I've got like enough to make a purchase of some Atom on. So what I want to do on what we would like to do is, okay, I bought some Atom on, now we could do it this way. We could just say, okay, I want to buy some Atom. No, sorry. We could just say, okay, I want to buy some Atom. We'll switch from Bitcoin to Atom or Cosmos. And okay, I want to buy some Atom, but I don't really want to pay $2 merchant charge. So how can I avoid that? Well, let's try this. Let's go over to My Assets. And let's go to US dollar down here. And let's go to the Add Cash. Now, this is connected directly to my Chase account. And let's just do 30. I think I can do 30. And we'll hit continue. Now this is done through Plaid. I've connected my Chase account using Plaid, so it's an ACH transfer. But when I just use the Add Cash, it doesn't charge me a merchant fee for just throwing cash in there. Okay, it says it's going to be available instantly and that I'll be able to cash out instantly. We'll see. All right, it's done. So let's go back to My Assets. Let's do a quick browser refresh, and we should see that there's about $30 worth of US dollar in there. Now, let's go over to Trade and see if they have an Atom US dollar trading pair. They do. All right, so let's go to Atom US dollar. Let's do a market. I want to buy some Atom, and I want to use all my dollars. It's 31. There was a little extra in there. Let's take it down just a hair. Can I? Yeah, just a little bit. I just want to leave a little bit in the account. Who knows? I always like try to leave a little extra in there. So we hit buy Atom. Now look at that, 0.174, 17 cents. It's a lot better than $1.99, right? So when we drop the cash in first and then trade for it in the advanced trade, it's cheaper, right? You end up with less of a charge. We're still going to get the withdrawal fee, but you would get that even after you paid the merchant fee too, right? So we'll go ahead and we'll buy the Atom. So now that we've got Atom in our Coinbase account, who said it was crazy? One simple trade. He goes, hey, I put some Atom in here. I can't get it out. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, it's crazy. You want to get it out, right? So here's Cosmos. Now we could do this in Ledger Live if we wanted to. So we can go to Ledger Live and to our Cosmos account. We can do a receive. We can bypass the hardware check and just get the address here. I'm familiar with this address. Now we should be able to go back to Coinbase and send it all and paste in the address. And should click continue. And I don't need a memo. There's no memo necessary for a wallet, right? If I were sending it to a different exchange, then I would need the memo. The other exchange, the destination exchange, would give me a memo field along with the address. And they would say, make sure you use the memo field. Wallets don't need memo fields. It's kind of confusing the way some of these cryptos work. We could also view that same wallet using Kepler. Kepler is a wallet that works with Atom, right? And when I set up Kepler wallet, I connected it to my Ledger device. So it's a third-party wallet that will works with my Ledger. So if I were to try to send Ledger out, I would need to confirm on my device. And I would need to be in the Cosmos Atom app when I'm working with Kepler. But I'm not sending any Atom out at the moment. I'm just sending some in. So I can just pull up Kepler and look at that same address, right? The exact same address in Kepler because it's connected to my Ledger device, right? Same balance too, if you look at it. 77 Atom. And oh, there's more over here. Oh, okay, because Kepler is not counting the, let's go back to Kepler, where I lost it. Kepler is not counting the, well, it's got available and staked separate, right? So if we add 77 and 30 together, then we get what we're seeing in Ledger, right? Ledger is giving me the total, the staked and delegated, right? But it's the same wallet, right? So we could use Kepler or Ledger Live to generate that address for us. But we have the address, so we've pasted it in here. Let's just hit continue. Are you sure? Now this is where people get freaked out. They're like, wait a minute, it wants me to give them a memo. I don't have a memo. You don't need the memo. It's just warning you. I don't know how many people have told me it won't let me because it wants a memo. I'm like, it's not preventing you. It's just warning you. With Coinbase, you can just go, yes, I'm sure. I've had people swear on their mother's grave that it won't allow them to withdraw. Usually it's XRP. They'll say, I can't withdraw it. It won't let me without the memo. Where's the memo? I'm like, you don't need it. Anyway, so let's do yes, I'm sure. I don't need the memo. We'll hit send now. Our network fee is 0.0025 Atom. How much is that? Let's see. Atom. Okay, that's about 3 cents. Withdrawal fee for the Atom. Not bad. All right. So let's go ahead and send it now. It might ask me for my two-factor authentication, which, I need to give them. My banking app, You didn't see my password. All right, so my two-factor. So I need my two-factor for Coinbase. Whoops. And, it's turning red. Is it going to make it? 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 Yes, it did. So we bought $30 worth of Atom. I made it. I put $30 in the account. I bought some Atom, but not with all of my US dollar. I left like $1 in there for me. So we got charged. What was, I forget what the fee was. It was like, I don't know, 30 cents, was it? Or 27 cents? And then the withdrawal fee was like 3 cents. So, yeah, you got to wrap your head around this, but you are always going to have charges when you transfer crypto. It's how blockchains work. The blockchain is like a decentralized thing where everybody kind of gets together and says, hey, let's think of a new way to use money. And we'll make it free for everybody. And then everyone kind of looked around and said, well, who's going to maintain the system? Oh, I don't know. I don't want to do it. It's like, why don't you do it? Oh, no, you do it. Well, they have to incentivize someone to maintain the system. That's what the fees are for, right? We pay the fees when we move crypto so that the people that are maintaining the system are rewarded for doing so. That's how cryptos work. It's decentralized, right? Could be anybody. Right. But if you're mining Bitcoin or you're maintaining nodes, you're getting rewarded for that. That's what all these fees are for. Right. It's built into this. It's baked in how it works. So these exchanges are basically just passing that fee along to you. Hey, come here. I think Ken wants to say hi to you. Oh, well, I think Ken wants to say hi to Kitty. Kitty likes to go outside. Ugh, your breath. Ugh, cat breath. All right, Kitty, you can go. You can go now. All right, you can go now. All right, so let's take a look over in Ledger Live and see where. Oh, it came in already. So the Atom that we just withdrew from Coinbase came in. And we can look at it in Kepler, too. Let's see. Kepler should be more than 80 now. It should be something more. It might take a minute. Let's see. Oop-a-doop-a-doo. It's the same wallet, though, right? So, oh no. I saw some come in. But I think it went up to 80 from what it was before. I don't know, it was, what, 79 or 78? It's showing in both wallets. All right. FaceTime. Ken is a kitty aficionado, right? He likes the cat coming in. I like the cat, too. I have 75 Atom staked on Kepler. I'm anted to increase the balance. Do you agree? Is there a risk involved? Please advise. I don't, I can't vouch for the Atom network, 100%, right? It works as far as I've seen it work. I'm staking Atom. I trust it enough to stake it. I can't, stand behind it 100% and say that it's never going to fail. But I'm reasonably convinced that it's, the network works and that you can stake. But the only reason I'm not staking more, you'll notice I'm only staking 30, is that because of the unbonding period of 21 days, I'm a little leery of leaving it in there, all of my Atom in there. Now, that's just me, and that's just my mindset, because this Atom has been in this wallet for like 2 years now. So if I had more of it staked, I would have a much bigger return. So I'm sort of cheating myself by not staking more of it, right? But if you don't mind having to wait 21 days if you need it, then go full tilt, right? It's not going anywhere. The only problem I have with, and there's lots of cryptos like this, not just Atom. The unbonding period means that if I say, okay, I want my 30 Atom, so it'll say, well, you're going to have to wait 21 days to get it, right? And we do that in Cap. Well, I think we can do it here too, right? You can see I'm staking it here. So if I were to, manage. Okay, so if I want to undelegate, you can't see it. I'm in the way. Let's see. This thing is kind of weird trying to move it, but I will. I'm going to go ahead and try. Okay. I think I can move it. Nah, it's going to... Yeah. Okay, let's do it this way. Let me just move it over. There we go. That's nice. All right, so I can undelegate here. But it's going to be... Rewards will be immediately cashed in. The undelegated amount will be back in the available balance after the 21-day time lock. So from the moment I say I want it out or that I want to undelegate, I have to wait 21 days. Not a big deal, but if the proverbial poop hits the fan and you want to sell it all as fast as possible, this could be a problem, right? But if you're a long-term hodler and you don't mind the 21-day unbonding period, then you'll earn more by staking more of it, right? So by all means, it's I think, I forget what the percentage is, but it's much better than a savings account, right? And you're earning Cosmos, right? Hey, Simple Trade. Thank you for that. Best practice, if a crypto is stakeable and you are hodling it in a wallet, then you should be staking it, right? That's best practice, right? If it's just sitting in your wallet, not doing anything, and it's a stakeable coin, you should be staking it. It makes sense, doesn't it? Thank you, Simple Trade. I appreciate it. See, look, and now you're over there in the latest subscriber thingamajig. That's pretty cool. Yeah. I don't know, these things that like Emmanuel Adamasu is going off the little graphic there. So I need to, you need to compound those rewards. Dan is lecturing me and he's right. Dan knows, right? Dan was heavily involved in Kepler and staking and was doing quite a bit in during the bull run and paying his bills using the staking rewards, right? Yes, indeed. Let's see, where are we? It's 7:18. We got plenty of time. I wanted to show you this thing. This thing here. Okay, so you can see me, and there is somewhat of a it's calling itself a chat window, but I couldn't. It's difficult to do this when I'm just testing at home because I have to like log in with my other account. Adam is Dan just said Adam is staking at 20 %, which is pretty good. The only thing I don't like about that little chat window over there is it's like it's not giving me the running chat window. It should, but I don't know why it's not. So it might be fun. This is kind of like a gamer stream overlay thing. I'm not really a gamer, but whatever. So, but let's just go back here. Oh, not there. Sorry. My bad. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to go back to this. Let's see where we are with this. Managing a ledger / Trezor in Metamask. We kind of covered this a little bit. Oh, I wanted to just bring this out for you guys. I wanted to play with this wallet here. But I just wanted to let you know that I got an email from, I'm going to put this over here and pull up my email here real quick. Oh, there's the photo. Okay. All right. Okay. So, it shows your email, so I don't really, you know what? Let me see if I can. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And then, yeah, I'll do this. It's got a picture of me in there too, but it doesn't reveal any information from you. Okay, good. I just didn't want to reveal your email. You sent me this picture. All right, so if we look at my Ledger Live. Okay, yeah, so you've got that kind of that funky web. It's like I think it's a Web3 icon. I think that's what that's supposed to represent. And so when you tap on it, it opens up a web browser from within your phone, right? Takes you to websites. I'm assuming that that's meant for you to go to like Rarible or OpenSea and buy NFTs, or some other site that maybe supports Web3 interfaces. I guess that's how it's supposed to work. Thank you for sending that picture, though. I appreciate it. Right, so we can kind of all see that you know, that I do not have it on my phone for some bizarre reason, and he is on Android, so maybe it hasn't been pushed out to the Apple Store yet. Right? Maybe the Apple Store won't allow it. There were some wallets that had web browsers like integrated in, and Apple wouldn't allow it. They're real kind of funky about that. So that might be why I don't have it, because they haven't got it approved. I know, but it's weird. I mean, I know there are some wallets that do. I remember Trust Wallet used to have like a web browser, but now they don't. It's not on their phone app. But thanks for sending that. So yeah, it looks like some kind of Web3 interface. Oops. All right, so let's see, we did that. This is the MetaMask portfolio. Let me just kind of read the chat, see what's going on in the chat. Should I use multiple ledger devices to secure my crypto? That's a very good question, Morgan. Sorry I didn't get to that sooner. Trying to keep an eye on the chat window. You can store crypto on multiple ledgers. If you look at my Ledger Live, you'll notice that there are a few accounts that are set up with other devices. Right? So these two Bitcoin accounts are associated with my Ledger Nano S Plus. So you can manage multiple devices in one copy of Ledger Live. Basically, if I were to try to send any crypto out of this wallet, it would ask me to attach the device. And if I attached the Ledger Nano X, I would get an error message, because this account was set up with my Ledger Nano S Plus. So I need to make sure when I'm managing crypto in this account that I have my Ledger Nano S Plus attached. But the question is, should I split up my crypto across multiple devices? And the answer is there is no pat answer. It's entirely up to you how you want to manage it. Of course, the old adage, don't put all your eggs in one basket, would apply here. Maybe I don't want all of my crypto on one device, right? There might be other reasons for that, right? But I mean, the thing is if it's all or nothing. Now, the whole idea that if the device breaks, I would lose everything, we all know that that's not true because we have our backup phrase. But suppose girlfriend, roommate, sibling, mother, father, son happens to know that you've got a seed phrase hidden somewhere. And they start, while you're out, you go out to the movie or whatever, and they're home, they turn your room upside down or your office, and they find your seed phrase, and they use it. In that respect, then they would have all of your crypto if you keep all your crypto on one device with one backup phrase. Now, maybe you're a little more paranoid, right? So you hide your seed phrase really well so that even if someone were really hard target looking for it, they wouldn't be able to find it. Maybe you have it stored in more than one place. Maybe you have more than one ledger device and multiple seed phrases, and you have them stored all in one spot. Maybe not a good idea, but maybe you have them stored in separate places, maybe even offline or in different houses, whatever, right? But you can see now the problem with me trying to get all that out of my mouth was that it's complicated, right? So if I have a ledger device and I know that I can trust everybody in my household, and I have the seed phrase stored safely and securely so that if the device breaks or gets lost or stolen, my crypto's fine because they won't know the PIN. That's enough for me, right? If I think that, I want to have a backup, and so I'm going to split all my crypto across 5 different devices, well, now I have to keep track of the 5 different devices. I have to keep track of where I'm putting all these seed phrases because we don't want to store them all in the same spot, right, in case someone discovers the seed phrases. So now you've added all this complication to your life, and then something happens and you decide you want to sell your crypto, and you're like, you know what, I think I'll sell the crypto on device B. And you're like, what did I do with device B? It's somewhere around here. Did I put different pins on each device because I didn't want to, like if someone found the pin? So now I've got 5 different pins floating around in my head. Which pin is on this device? Oh my gosh, maybe I have them written down somewhere. Well, I got to keep that a hidden spot, right? So now you can see how spreading out your crypto on multiple devices can be a headache. So yes, maybe more secure, right? You've spread out the risk, but you've also increased the amount of complication. You might end up losing some crypto because you stuck something somewhere and you can't remember where it is, and now you've lost access to the crypto entirely because you were being so careful and so meticulous that now you can't remember. Well, I don't know. Why don't I keep a little page in a book that in excruciating detail where everything is? Well, what if someone finds that? Right? See how you've increased the complication in your life. So that's my take on storing crypto on multiple ledgers. And thank you for that question, Morgan J. Can you go over Ledger Live Swap feature? Well, Ledger Live Swap feature is basically you're using a third party when you do that. you go into the swap, and I have to tell you right away, I'm not a big fan of this because it uses third parties. You're using Ledger Live, but you're not really actually swapping directly on the device. There's no such thing. You can't just swap cryptos on a wallet because you need some liquidity somewhere, either on a decentralized exchange or a centralized exchange. You can't just create crypto out of thin air, right? So let's say, okay, I've got some Polygon Matic and I would like to swap it into Ethereum. And okay, I'm willing to use a bunch of it. Now, notice here that it's going to be using the CIC website, which is pretty cool, right? I could just go there and do this on their website. Basically, what happens is, okay, you arrange to do some kind of swap. Remember, we were doing like Polygon, whatever. Right? And we want to do it for ETH. Okay, well, I need like more than, because Matic's cheap. All right, so if I send them 100 Matic, they'll send me 0.05 ETH back to my end. And I just tell them, okay, well, where's my ETH wallet? You know, basically, which you can get from your accounts. And I know I'm like not showing you the swap in Ledger Live. I'm just trying to demonstrate that it's not really happening on your device, right? You're sending your Polygon to these guys, and you give them your Ethereum address, and then they're like, oh, okay, send your Matic to this address. And wait a few minutes, and then we'll send the Ethereum to your wallet. That's how this works. Yeah, SPF would beg to differ, right? So I think a lot of people are under the impression that when you use this swap feature in Ledger Live, somehow you're avoiding fees and you're keeping it simple by just doing it right on your device, but you're not. You're using a third-party service to make this trade swap. They're going to charge you fees, right? I mean, why would they even be in business or maintain this website if they weren't running some kind of business, right? So these fees are going to get passed to you in Ledger Live when you do this swap, right? Now, I had someone tell me that they used Ledger Swap, and after all was said and done, they realized that it was more, the fees ended up costing him more than it would have if he'd have just sent the crypto to Coinbase and traded on Coinbase, right? So I'm saying it would probably be cheaper, and I don't have to send them the Polygon. If I don't send them the Polygon, this transaction is just going to time out eventually, right? They're just waiting for me, but I'm not going to send it. I was just kind of demonstrating. But if I were to just take that Polygon in my Ledger wallet and transfer it over to Coinbase and make the swap for Ethereum using well, when you do it on Coinbase, there is no trading pair for Atom and ETH, right? So you're going to have to convert to Bitcoin and then swap for ETH, or convert to Tether and then swap for ETH, or whatever. It's not cut and dried, right? So, but the only good thing about this swap is there is an understated simplicity to the fact that you're sort of doing it within your wallet, and it will come into your wallet when you're done, and you won't have to think about it, right? Let's do it for, like, let's just say 100, right? So they're saying, oh, okay, well, you can send And it knows the wallets too, right? I don't have to put in my Ethereum wallet address because it knows the wallet. So all of that's kind of done for me, but I am going to get fees, right? There's rates, fees, rates, whatever. They're giving me a quote that kind of bakes in the whole fee structure, right? So it's not what I would say is the best price for the Ethereum. I'm not buying the Ethereum at the very best price because I'm paying their fees, right? CIC, right? Now, if I hit exchange, right? Let's go ahead and turn on the camera over here. The first thing I need to do is, well, let's let Ledger Live tell me, right? Because now I'm in Ledger Live. It's another advantage, right? Ledger Live is going to tell me, okay, connect your device. Tells me something went wrong. I need to get out of the Ethereum app. Let's do that. I would think that I would need to be in the Polygon app. Okay, so now it's asking if it can connect. I'll say yeah. And then it should say open Polygon app because I'm sending the Polygon out if it works. Oh, it's installing Polygon. I guess I didn't have the app on here. So it is, there is that simplicity in here. Oh, I got to open the Exchange app. Okay. All right. So it checked to see if I had the Exchange app installed. It wasn't, so it installed it for me, right? Now it's asking me to open it. So I'll hit both buttons to open the Exchange app. And I really don't want to do this. All right, let me move this over so you can see it a little better, right? So there it is. It's telling me, okay, so now you need to verify the transaction on the device. This is where the private key comes into play, right? Your crypto is secure in Ledger Live because no one can move it or trade it or swap it or do anything unless the device is attached and the owner of the device knows the PIN and has it open, right? So I can review the transaction. Right? I navigate using the metal button over here. Okay, I'm going to send 100 Matic. I haven't muted my mic tonight either. Then it tells me I'm going to get back Ethereum, right? There's my Matic fees, which are very low, right? And then accept and send, and the swap goes through, and the Ethereum ends up in my wallet, but I'm not going to do it, right? Because I would rather hang on to my Matic rather. But I mean, that's the steps involved in this swap thing. So it's not a bad deal, really. I just like, I sort of, I'm more of a direct kind of person. So although I have to say there are some advantages to this as far as making sure you don't screw it up, you know, like if I were to go to their website and I really wasn't that savvy, I could mess it up, right? What did I do? Did I just close it? I must have just closed that whole browser tab. There's room for error over here. I could screw something up and not get my thing back. Over here, it's a little more, you know, cut and dried, what's going on. I'm swapping. But just keep in mind, you aren't directly swapping. You're actually using a third party under the hood. That's how it works. Okay, so let me take a look here. Let's go back out of this. If AI is 100 times smarter than people now, as it's said, what's your opinion out of 2,048 words that AI could figure out our 24 phrases? And how many times do we have before it self-destructs? Thank you in advance. That's a good question. I mean, we're hearing a lot about AI lately. And but AI is not quantum computing. we're much more at risk of quantum computing being able to somehow crack encryption. The people have talked about it. It's not capable of doing it yet. A lot of people have talked about quantum computing doing this. AI, as it stands now, if we think of, say, ChatGPT and Bard and those types of things that are going to help us do our searches, they're just language processors, right? They're not number crunchers. They take a lot of data in, but it's all text, and then they can process those words and mimic human behavior by like kind of spitting things back out. But it's not number crunching, right? At least not now. AI is basically language processing. So at the moment, we're not really in any danger of AI cracking our 24 words. Now, I've had this question given to me many, many times about how likely is it that someone will accidentally create the same PIN as me, or that somebody just brute force trying is going to stumble upon my private key by trying different combinations of those 2048 words. 2048 sounds like a small number, but when we deal with combinational mathematics, that's not the right term for it, but when we're talking about the number of combinations that can be created out of 2048 words, it is astronomical. The number of all right. Thank you, Asil. I always appreciate that when you jump in there. That's really nice of you. And put a little. I've got a little 80s vibe going this week, right? On the sounds, right? Because there's like a default sound. It sounds like this, which is kind of cool. But and there is no. That's just a test. There's no John. I kind of messed with the sounds a little bit on the ones that are more likely to come, the new subscriber and the super chat. I don't even think I have membership set up. So I don't think people can donate to my channel as through membership. I will set all that stuff up eventually. But anyway, I put some 80s stuff. The sound, the subscriber sound is the 80s too. I'm sure there are some young people watching me going, this guy is just like such a nerd. Okay, so where were we? See, I lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah, we were talking about basically what we're talking, the number of combinations of 8 bits, I believe, is 256. And that's just 8 bits to 256. And as we get higher, like 32 bits, it gets, the number of unique combinations gets even higher. I have videos here. Okay. There is a really cool video. Mustafa Lamb. Thank you. And here's the YouTube video for it. I'll put a link to this in the chat window, if I can find it. It's in there. This is a video that talks about the strength of 256-bit encryption. And keep in mind that a 24 word, that this is a 12 word. A 24 word is even more secure, right? Even though, but the difference, 24 word phrase is almost overkill because a 12 word phrase is much more than adequate to security, right? That someone, so he talks about, okay, let me see if I can get it for you here. Okay, so he's talking about 256-bit, right? And how difficult is that for someone to just randomly, if I have one, how simple. So 2 to the power of 256 possibilities. This is our 2048 words. Actually, it's 1,000 something words, right? For 12. Don't listen to what I'm saying. All right. So basically he has to break it up into, because a human mind just can't wrap their head around how much this is. Let's give it a try. This is a big number. Okay. How big? Well, I don't know. Let's break it down into its components. All right. Let's break it down into 8 different sections. In each of those sections is, was it 8 billion? 4 billion. All right. So, but it's 4 billion times itself 8 times, which is like a number we can't even wrap our head around. So he tries to put it in perspective. He goes, okay, so we've got 8 4 billions. What does that look like? Okay, well, we can get a GPU that can do like the 4 billion. And then we take those 4 billion, we take 4 billion of those GPUs and stick them in a computer. Okay, sort of. You kind of getting the what I'm saying here. Then we can take, those 4 billion is like one laptop, right? Now we can take 4 billion of those laptops and let those numbers crunch. We're trying to guess my 24 word backup phrase, right? Or 12 word, right? And so we get 4 billion of those GPUs, and then we put them together into like what we call a Google, right? Then we take 4 billion of those laptops, or I just said that, right? Now he relates it to the world, right? So we can take all the people in the world can have one of those GPUs. Okay. All of those people in the world that are crunching numbers might guess my 24. No. That's not enough. Right? We need to take 4 billion of those worlds. Now, what are we talking about here? We're talking we're talking about 4 billion GPUs on one world, and now we've taken 4 billion of those worlds, and we still aren't even close to being able to guess that number in a reasonable amount of time. So now we've got a gigagalactic supercomputer composed of all of these worlds into galaxies. It's beyond what a human being can even think about. 37 times the age of the universe, right? An AI is not going to just like start crunching numbers and figure out your 24 word phrase. Just because the AI knows how to spit out text, it's nowhere near the capability of something that even GPUs and mega computers would take 37 times 507 billion years, or 37 times the age of the universe. I don't know. I've tried to explain this to people and to get them to wrap their head around it, and they still go, oh, but what if... Oh, but what if somebody just accidentally guessed my 24-word recovery phrase? It's if I took a grain of sand and I threw it out on a beach and asked you to go out on that beach and look for that grain of sand, and you didn't see me throw it out there. You came the next day, right? And I said, yeah, I threw a grain of sand out there. Can you go find it? And we, and we say we know that if he finds my grain, we'll know, right? That somehow it's been genetically marked or something, right? But even that's not even close, right? It would have to be, okay, I threw a grain of sand out there, but not that beach. It could be any beach on the world, right? So now you've got to decide, well, which beach should I start looking at first, right? I got to look through all the beaches on all, on Earth to find your grain of sand. What are the chances of you finding that grain of sand I threw out there? Well, that's not even representative of the search, right? It would have to be all the grains of sand on all the beaches, on all the worlds in the galaxy. No, not just that, all the galaxies in all the universe, right? So you get started on that beach and let me know when you're done searching all the beaches on all the worlds, and all in the galaxy and all the galaxies, and then tell me how easy it is for you to accidentally just stumble upon that grain of sand I threw out there. Anyway. But ChatGPT is phenomenal, right? Unbelievably phenomenal. Let's see, where are we here? Tips for identifying scams. Oh, I wanted to talk about this scam. Oh, yeah, the email. I was telling you that I got an email, and I want to show you the email. I don't want to show you. A couple of people sent me an email tonight. I don't want you to see that. So I'm going to, here it is. Okay. A private email was sent to me from YouTube, right? And look here, no-reply@youtube.com. I don't know how they managed to get it to come from YouTube, but they did, right? And so when you go to this YouTube video, I think it's been taken down. Oh, here.
Dear YouTube creator, I'm Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google. You are receiving this message because YouTube is changing its community rules and monetization.
This is a total scam. That is not him. I mean, it's a picture or it's a video of, it's a deep fake video of him telling me that if I don't go do this, that my YouTube channel is going to be discontinued within a week. It took me a little while to like wrap my head around what a pernicious scam this is. But it is a scam, right? So, but it's a very well-crafted scam. The longer I watched it, the more I could tell that what he was saying was not a human conversation, right? I could tell that it was like deep-faked text. It was a deep fake video. But the more I listened to it, the more I realized that that's not how YouTube works, right? They don't just, first, they don't send you private videos where you have the CEO, and it wouldn't be him, right? He's the CEO of Google. It would be somebody from YouTube, like the marketing director of YouTube, what do they call us? Influencers. Like, I'm head of influencer development. It wouldn't be the CEO of Google telling you that your YouTube channel is about to get discontinued unless you click this link and go through all this. So, God, these scams are just getting to the point where they're just like, ugh, I don't even want to think about it. Please don't fall for scams, right? You're going to get people sending you emails, having you click links to go to videos that are scams, but that look really real. Never give up your 24-word recovery phrase for any reason to anyone at any time, right? No matter how convincing they may seem, no one ever needs your backup phrase. That wasn't a backup phrase, that's my YouTube channel, but if you're a YouTuber and you get that email, don't do whatever they want you to do. You're basically gonna, they're gonna take over your account is what they'll do, right? So don't do that. But there are scams out there. So always look with a skeptical eye on any email, text, chat that you receive, right? And don't ever give out your backup phrase, because you know what's easier than searching for every grain of sand on every beach on every world in the galaxy is sending an email, sending out a blast email to a bunch of people and telling them that they should contact you if their wallet is having trouble and for tech support. And that they just come to you and then you ask them for their seed phrase and they just give it to you. That's so much easier than hacking computers or searching through grains of sand on a beach. Just ask them. I don't know if you ever saw Equilibrium with Christian Bale. He was like a cleric. They called him a cleric. He was like a gunfighter cleric. And there was a question that said, what is the easiest way to get a weapon away from a grammaton cleric? And the answer was, you ask him for it. Because he had given up his weapon when he walked in for that interview. So yes, that is the easiest way to get hacked, is for someone to simply ask you for your backup phrase and then you just give it to them. Please don't do it. Don't Google, own YouTube. How do you do DeFi tax if you have the same coin on multiple blockchains? Well, I have some links for various tax services. There are some specialists that do crypto taxes that are knowledgeable, and you would basically go to them for consultation, and they would ask you for the information that they need to get a picture of your capital gains or losses, right? So you give them all the information about the different wallets you're using, the different DeFi sites you're using, that kind of stuff. There are also crypto tax software websites like CoinLedger, Coinly Tax Report, and CoinTracker.io, where you can do it manually, so to speak. Basically, you would just submit the wallet addresses for the wallets that you're using on these various DeFi sites. And then using those wallet addresses, they track all of your transactions on the blockchain, right? They don't need to get inside your wallet to do any of this, right? Because all that information is on the blockchain. All you have to do is give them your public address. Now, some people don't even want to give out their public addresses because it is a little bit of a, you're compromising your privacy a little bit. But I mean, the IRS doesn't care about your privacy. And we talked with Crypto Laura a month or so ago, and she told us the IRS really doesn't need to know your wallet addresses for you to claim your crypto profits or losses, right? They don't really need the precise wallet addresses. So if you're savvy enough, you can do it all and submit everything to the IRS without revealing your wallet addresses. But if you're going to use a service like Laura or Gordon Law or any other tax specialist, or if you're going to go and use like a software like CoinLedger, Coinly, or CoinTracker, you will need to submit your public wallet address. You're not giving up your private keys. You're submitting your public addresses, and they'll analyze the blockchain and determine what your crypto gains or losses are. But yeah, it's not easy, right? Even the tax software can be difficult to use. That's why, some people really need like a tax advisor for their crypto taxes. Anyway, we're about to wrap up here. We're getting close. I managed not to mute my mic tonight. Let's see, we got this one. I'm here in the, I've got this camera back here. This is my overhead. So you can see my whole setup here. You can see it's still light outside. It's been